Hey guys, all right, let's get started making some homemade pierogies from scratch. You actually only need about 4 potatoes here, maybe 5. For 24 pierogies, you need about 2 cups of flour. Add in some salt, some pepper. As far as water, about a cup of water. A cup of water should do it. If it's a little bit too wet, just add a little bit more flour. If it's too dry, add a little bit more water. Knead the dough into a nice uniform ball. And don't overmix it because then the dough gets tough. And don't undermix it because then it's actually a bit too tender. You need to develop the gluten in the flour. Boil off your potatoes, get those finished up and cool down ahead of time for the filling. I'm going to add onions and bacon and cheese into my filling. So chop yourself up some onions nice and fine. So basically what we're doing here while we're waiting for our dough to kind of relax, which takes about an hour, is we're just getting our filling ready. So frying off the onions, chopping up some bacon, fry off some bacon, and add that to the potatoes. And once that's cool, we'll add the cheese in. All right. Drain your potatoes really well, mash them up. Don't add any butter or any fat, anything like that to the potato mixture, because what happens is the pierogies actually lay down flat when they're boiled or cooked, just because of the fat inside of the filling. The whole thing kind of flattens out. If you leave it nice and dry, the filling and the pierogi stays nice and plump. I like lots of cheese and bacon and onions in mine. Have them any way you want. Have whatever you want in them. Doesn't matter. Plain potatoes even is fine. All right, let's get this dough rolled out. The 2 cups of flour, that'll make you about 24 pierogies, like I said. So get lots of flour down so your dough doesn't stick to the counter. Lots of flour, lots on top, lots on the bottom. You don't want the dough to stick while you're rolling it out. And roll it out to about 1/8 of an inch thick. You know, maybe a little bit thicker if you want to chew your pierogi. A little thinner if you want a thinner pierogi. Does that make sense to you guys? So there you go, about 1/8 of an inch thick. Get yourself a cutter. I just happen to have this bullet blender piece that was about the right size. Pick whatever size you like. I like a larger pierogi. You can make smaller ones. You can even make even bigger ones if you want to, but this is about the size that I liked. Okay, grab one of your dough circles and kind of just pull it out a little bit, elongate it. Take one kind of a heaping teaspoon of filling, stick it right there in the middle, and fold it over. Start in the very middle and pinch it really hard all the way around to the corner. See if your fingers get a bit sticky like mine did in this one. Just dip your fingers in some flour and then they won't stick anymore. But pinch it really well, otherwise it'll open up. So you just basically want to make the 2 pieces of dough into one. So as you can see, that turned out pretty good. We'll do it one more time. Elongate it. Give you a bit of a close-up on this one. Elongate it out a bit. Hold it in your hand. Take a teaspoon of the filling, a good heaping teaspoon. Again, if you can try to stick more in there, but if the filling gets between the layers of dough when you pinch them, sometimes it'll open up. So you want to have that, just the dough sealing up on the edges. There you go. See, from the middle to the outside and from the outside to the middle. And you get a nice, perfect shape. All right, so let's get into the cooking. The way I like to do them is I like to boil them. These ones actually I'm going to fry, but I like to boil them first. And start with boiling water. Bring the pierogies to a boil. Once they're floating on top, they're ready to go. So you can serve them just like this if you want to. just boiled, or you can just fry them if you want to. I prefer to boil and then fry them. So here I go frying them up in the pan. I just use a little bit of the bacon grease I reserved from when I was frying the bacon. Kind of going back, make sure you drain that bacon out really well. You don't want a bunch of fat in the filling that's going into your pierogies. So we like them with a good amount of sour cream and bacon bits and green onions chopped up on top. And that's how we serve them up. I know the process can seem a little daunting and people think it's really difficult, but it's actually really, really easy. It's some flour, some water, some filling, and that's it. Just that easy. Give it a try.